Hi. Okay. I hope I get extra credit because I think this is the fourth time I'm trying to do this video. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling so great. Last night I tried to um, do the video and it was like my voice just totally stopped working in the middle and I was coughing and having a fit. But I'm dedicated to doing this because it's the Shloshim. It's the 30th day since the death of the son of my dear friend Leora. So I'm dedicating this year to the Ilui Nishmat, the elevation of the soul of Daniel ben Aryeh Veliora. So, okay, here it goes. This is also a fabulous parsha. That's why I felt like I couldn't let it go. I can't miss out on this parshat Shlach. Shlach is the parsha where the infamous story of the spies, the sin of the spies, happens. And it's a strange story because I don't want to go into the whole story, but everybody knows it was a nice idea. It started out where the Jewish people sent people to spy out the land and to figure out how to strategize, how to conquer, how to go in, how to combat the forces in the country, in the land of Israel. And it seems like Moshe was in total agreement with it. And even Hashem said to him, Shlach lecha anashim, send out for you people, meaning Moshe was interested in doing this. He thought it was a good idea. So did Hashem. And then everything went south. They went into the land of Israel. They were checking things out. They came back after 40 days and they gave an evil report. They gave her a bad speech. Dibat haaretz ra'ah. They saw the negative. They pointed out that it was not going to work out. We shouldn't go into the land of Israel. And all the Jewish people cried on that night. And that night happened to be Tisha B'Av, which was a catastrophic day in the calendar in history of the Jewish people forever after. Plus, they traveled for 40 years in the desert. They did not go into the land of Israel right away. All the men from the ages of 20 to 60 died over the that time in the desert. And anyway, bad. It really, really went badly. So the question is, first of all, if it was going to go badly, why was Moshe okay with the whole idea? And it even seems like it's his idea. Hashem says, Shlach lecha, send for you, meaning this was your idea. This is something that you wanted to do. Also, and why did Moshe send anashim? It says anashim, send for you men. It doesn't say spies, by the way, which is interesting. My friend pointed that out the other day. It says send men. And men in the Torah means great men, scholars, rabbis. So he's sending the leaders, he's sending the heads of the tribes, 12 men that were so great and were scholarly and rabbis. First of all, why? Why send rabbis for a spy job? Shouldn't you send strategists, strong men, army personnel? Like, why are you sending the rabbis and the heads of the tribes? Like, why do we need rabbis to walk into Israel? You know, so and why did it go so badly, especially if they're such great men? And so Nesiv Shalom says a great thing. He says, Moshe had a different idea in mind, a different plan in mind. He thought, when you go into the land of Israel, this is a very, very huge spiritual endeavor. We're going into the promised land, into the land where we are going to be close to Hashem, where we're going to be supervised daily by Hashem, where there are going to be miracles. Everything is going to be great. But when there's a tremendous amount of holiness and there's a real mission that has to happen and there's a real purpose to creation, and it's going to be actualized in the land of Israel, there's obviously going to be a lot of trials and tribulations and challenges and tests, because it's like there's always a balance in the universe. If there's a tremendous holiness and good, there's also going to be a balance of bad to combat that spiritual greatness. And the Yetzer Hara or the Satan or the distancing aspects in the universe are going to combine to make it very, very difficult to reach your goals. So just by the way, that's a good sign, okay? Which meaning if you are facing tremendous challenges and difficulties, this is what we talked about last week with regard to the Mishkan. As soon as the Mishkan is built, there's going to be a cloud. and a storm and a fire, right, that comes and that, is on top. It feels like it's a good thing, the cloud on top of the Mishkan, but it's, cloudy and it's dark. And then there's a fire, meaning like there are going to be forces that come to combat your elevation, your spiritual elevation. They're not going to let you level up, they're going to try and bash you down and get you to fail. So that's a good thing. But Moshe knew this, and he was trying to help the Jewish people prepare for this and give them a bit of like somehow to help them to counteract these evil forces. And for that, he wanted to send the great people of the generation, the leaders, the heads of the tribes. Please go into the land of Israel and check it out. What are the character traits of these nations that are in the land of Israel? What are the evil forces that are going to be there, so that we can prepare the Jewish people properly, so that we can embed what are they called? Like certain certain safeguards to allow the Jewish people to thrive in those environments. We need to strategize in a spiritual sense, not in a physical sense. So that was his idea, Moshe's idea. The Jewish people's idea was a little bit different. They thought, no. When we go into the land of Israel, we're going to have to fight in a natural way. We're going to have an army. We're going to have to go to get a job. We're not going to have, manna from the sky anymore. We're going to have to, start working, start growing up. So, like, what are we supposed to do about that, So we have to learn how to strategize in a natural way. And maybe they were lacking a little bit of faith, because that's really how men are. It was men that asked for the spies to go, and men that cried when they realized they weren't able to go. A little aside is that when it says Shlach lecha anashim, Hashem says to Moshe, send for you men. If it were up to me, I would send women, says the Kliyakar. It's not me making this up, although I would like to make it up. Kliyakar says, if it were up to me, I would send women. Women know how to figure out, and see beyond the facts and the figures, and they don't get caught up in all the natural, things that they see on the surface. They're able to have emunah, they have faith, they can figure it out, they can work it out. Anyway, not the point right now, but another little point. Okay, then what happened? Why did it go south? Great idea from Moshe. The Jewish people maybe didn't have the greatest intentions, but he sent the greatest people. So why didn't it work out? So, says Nesiv Hashem, this is amazing. When the leaders went into the land of Israel, they were a little bit appalled, and you could see that they started out their report by saying, there's beautiful fruit, there's amazing, it's a land flowing with milk and honey, it's great, and the land, the people that are in that land are strong, and the fortresses are great, and we're not going to be able to go into it, and we can't go. We can't conquer the lands of Israel. We're not going to be able to get to the level that we're trying to get to. It's not going to work out. Says Nesiv Hashem beautifully that the reason why the leaders were not happy with moving into Eretz Yisrael, which is actually interesting because I think a lot of people are not so happy moving to Israel today because of these same things, is that, first of all, the leaders, the heads of the tribes were looking at the physical, beautiful attributes of the land of Israel. They said it's a land flowing with milk and honey. The Jewish people, if we go into that land, they're going to get caught up with their wines and their, crops and their beautiful, physical attributes. Like, we're going to have great houses there, and they're going to get too involved in the materialism, right? They actually said, It's going to be a place where people are going to get caught up in the good physical aspects of the world, and they're going to forget about Hashem. And not to mention, they're going to have to go to the army. We want to stay in yeshiva. We want to learn. We want to open our Gemaras. And we don't want to have to face those kinds of things. We're going to have to go to work, right? We're going to have to, anyway, we're going to have to, bottom line, go away from our spiritual cocoon and our bubble that we're in the desert, and we're going to have to start facing the music. And that, to them, in their minds, was a little bit of a bias. They didn't want that to happen. Other commentaries, just by the way, say that they were a little bit afraid that they would lose their position, that they wouldn't be the leaders anymore, okay? Because they probably would not be as needed or as necessary. And that was a little bit of a bias. Either way, these were great men. And they didn't mean badly, but they really, really had a bias. And they really didn't get it. And Moshe saw right away, oh boy, this is not going well. When they came back and they said all of those things, that it's such a great country in terms of the physical and materialism. And he said in his mind, or Nesiva Shalom is saying, in Hashem's mind, this is the ultimate best way to serve Hashem. You need to go into the land of Israel, and you need to have good food, good drink, build beautiful houses, go to the army, go to work, and learn Torah. It can all work. It's perfect. That's what I want you to do. I want you to serve me with the physical world that I gave you. So please do not pretend that this is not all good. Go in and it's going to be fine. But this is not what the spies were okay with. And therefore, it caused a tremendous, tremendous tragedy. And what I just wanted to say is that this really seems to have been the first mission to Israel. It really was. It was a mission. You know, Moshe was sending out these people, and he just wants them to prepare, to level up, to grow. And because, unfortunately, it was a men's mission, I think it really failed. And I think that now, you know, did you see that really funny clip from Modi, the comedian? He had this really funny clip about the missions to Israel, the women's missions to Israel. I'll send it to you. I'll PM you if you want it. But it's really, really hysterical about the missions to Israel right now. But in any case, you know, that failed, right? That failed. But we have, I think, an opportunity now to fix their experience and to work on the things that are necessary to work on, and to realize that we need to serve Hashem and to get close to Hashem, and to understand that this is a country where, yes, we're strong. It's a strong country, meaning each person is strong-minded. Everybody has their opinion. 2 Jews, 3 opinions, okay? But we're strong and we're passionate about our opinions. And so it's hard to get to consensus and to get to understanding. But we have to work on it, okay? Because that is, in the end of the day, the purpose of creation, is that we should work together to serve Hashem, to be connected to Hashem with all the different elements of society and within the physical world. So with that, I would like to leave you. Oh, and I would also like to tell you that I heard that we can expect big miracles this Shabbat. I don't know why exactly, but Rav David Abu Chatzera said, I think because it's the 23rd of Sivan on Shabbat, and this is the day when the decree in the days of Achashverosh of Haman to kill all the Jewish people was rescinded. Okay, so Achashverosh realized that Haman is an evil man and hung him on this day, the 23rd of Sivan. It says it in the Megillah. So apparently it's an auspicious day for miracles. Let's pray that happens. And have a good Shabbos, everybody. And come to Israel on a mission, a women's mission.